The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello, my name is Mike Jones with the Oracle Applications Users Group. I am the Speaker Manager for Collaborate 18. In this session of OAUG e-learning, we will be talking about Collaborate 18 EBS Review, the Oracle speakers. Just as a reminder, OAUG will host over 500 sessions on topics pertinent to the applications of today and tomorrow, such as this one at Collaborate, from April 22nd through the 26th at the Mandalay Bay in Las Vegas, Nevada. Before I get started, I'd like to go over a couple of housekeeping items. You'll be on mute throughout the presentation. If you'd like to ask a question, please type it into the question box of your control panel at any time. Once the presentation has concluded, I will read the questions back so the presenter can respond. We are recording this session. It'll be available later today on the OAUG website, and we will be posting on the Collaborate YouTube channel. Next, I'm really excited to introduce you to our presenter, Nadia Bendjedou, Vice President of Product Strategy for Oracle. She basically runs all the EBS sessions for Collaborate, and we are so excited to have her here every year. Take it away, Nadia.
Thank you very much, Mike and Tiffany. Okay, let's start. So just to reiterate what Mike was saying, my name is Nadia. I work in the eBusiness Suite Development Organization as part of the product strategy. And I really wanted to just go through some of the stuff that we are delivering and covering at Collaborate 2018. And you will be very excited to see a lot of new stuff this year, in addition to the usual stuff that you expect every year. Well, first of all, for anyone who's still asking the question, why should I attend Collaborate? I think this sums it up. My Senior Vice President, Cliff Godwin, had been interviewed by Elisa Johnson a while back about why should you attend Collaborate. And I think what he said was really to the exactly what I would do, which is it's about really learning, it's about networking, it's about meeting other customers using the product you are using and exchanging, ideas and best practices. So you can take this video and watch it and hear it from Cliff and Elisa in your own time, but really just want to make sure I start the presentation with that. So it is about, for sure, it is about networking, have a little bit of coffee and meet other people and ask them who they are and what organization they come from and what product they use and how they use it. And this is basically all about networking. But it's not just about networking, but it's also about learning. There are lots of people there who are coming to learn from other customers, from other partners' experience, but also they are there to learn from Oracle people as well. So let me present the Oracle team who is going to be coming to Collaborate. So here are just some of them, to tell you the truth, the ones I found the photos of. There are other people, I didn't find the photos, so they are not on this screen. But this is just to give you the sheer amount of people and the investment that the eBusiness Suite Development Organization is putting into Collaborate. We are bringing development, we are bringing strategy, we are bringing people who really know the detail of the product. Now, if you are not familiar with me and you are wondering where I am on this screen, basically that's me, Nadia. On my right-hand side is actually Cliff Godwin, if you have not met him, and then the rest of the team. So this is just to let you know who is coming in a nutshell. As I said, other people, I cannot find their photos, so they are not on this screen. Now, it's about learning. This is obviously fundamental. So for Collaborate, we have about 35 EBS conference sessions, which is basically a traditional session where you go and listen to the speaker for an hour and have a question at the end if there is time. We also have what we call Meet the Expert, and we have 10 sessions that just for EBS about meeting with our expert, whether from strategy or development, in a more an informal way of asking your question, putting your case, and our expert in that Meet the Expert session will address them. In addition to that, we also have, by the way, Meet the Expert, we have been doing that for quite a while with the collaboration of the OUG. We also have the traditional demo pods in the exhibition hall, and this year we have in particular 8 from EBS perspective, i.e. 8 from the EBS development organization. But there's also some more, which I'll talk about from the Oracle support organization, for example. So I think all of those are deja vu. We have been doing the same thing, the conference session, the Meet the Expert, the demo pods since day one. What is new this year is actually 2 things. One was some new type of session called Turbo Talks, and OUG has been kind enough to allocate 4 Turbo Talks for eBusiness Suite, and I will reveal what those are in a minute. In addition to that, we also have something totally new. In fact, we haven't done this, I can't remember last time we have done hands-on lab. So the first time we are running 3 hands-on lab for eBusiness Suite that are dedicated for a lift and shift of EBS to the Oracle Cloud infrastructure. I will talk more about that in a while. And each lab is actually quite an investment. Each lab is going to be basically minimum 3 hours. So you need to be prepared. You need to bring your laptop. You need to make sure what there are some prerequisites you have in the laptop, like PuTTY, for example, and so on, and more detail on the website, which I address in a minute. So as I said, the new thing this year is the Turbo Talk and the eBusiness Suite hands-on lab for lift and shift of EBS to the Oracle Cloud infrastructure. So let's drill down a little bit of more detail on what are those sessions, what are the content, what is the content. So if we look at the 35 EBS conference sessions, and those are really from development, from EBS development, and you see the breakdown as shown by the slide here. We have about 23% of the 35 session dedicated to EBS overall, or we call it cross-suite, which are topics that actually are applicable to the whole eBusiness Suite. They are not limited to financial or procurement or HR or supply chain. They are topics that are across the board. For example, upgrade. For example, the cloud infrastructure. For example, the leveraging SaaS in a coexistence mode, the strategy and the roadmap. Some of those sessions are really applicable to every single module of the eBusiness Suite. That's why I call them cross-suite sessions. In addition to the cross-suite session, we have also something called the AppStack session, which is really the application technology. And we have 34% of the 35 session dedicated to the AppStack. This is where we talk about patching, maintenance strategies, tech stack, certification, integration, how we customize, how we can protect our customization. Those sessions are really technically in nature, but they are also applying to all the eBusiness Suite. They are not limited to one module or another. Now, then we go into the ERP. We have a 20% of the ERP session, and that really, when I talk about ERP, we're talking about financial modules, the whole financial area, the procurement, as well as the project area. So that is what I categorize as financials. In the supply chain, and we have 23% session dedicated to the supply chain, and here we are talking about order management, logistics, fulfillment. We're talking about manufacturing, whether it's discrete or process. We talk about asset management, and as well as warehouse. In fact, I also included in the supply chain area, include things like the CRM and field service product and so on. So this is a clear, a very neat categorization of the 35 sessions that we are delivering as part of the development of eBusiness Suite team. And of course, you can visit the OUG Collaborate website. There is a link there on the top, which basically allows you to see the whole catalog of all the sessions there. Now, the MTE I talked about, we have about 10 MTE, and this is where you are sitting down and in a very informal way, and you can basically ask your question, yours specifically, to your particular business needs, and our experts will answer the question. The Meet the Expert we have been running, as I said, for a number of years now, and each team uses it in a different way. Some teams would do like a round table and have one expert in each table and address the question at the table, or some other teams prefer to have the mic. One of the experts will start answering the questions coming from the floor as they come along. So there are two different formats, and it really depends which one is best for the actual topic. Both of them are valid, and both of them are used by our teams. So you can see from the Meet the Expert session here, we have actually one session that is going to be staffed by Cliff Godwin himself, and that's the first one, where he will be responding about questions about the longevity of eBusiness Suite, the strategy of EBS, where we are today, where we're going. We talk about some of the investment priorities that we have today, and etc. Those are the usual strategy and roadmap questions. So if you have an interest in hearing that, then please bring your question to Cliff Godwin and his executive team to the first MTE on the list. We have the second one, which is really about the tech stack, which is what we call the application technology. We have another one on upgrades, best practices. We have one dedicated about running eBusiness Suite on the Oracle Cloud infrastructure, which has become very topical over the last couple of years. We have one MTE that is about ERP, which combines financial, procurement, and project. We have one particularly dedicated to order management and logistics, like inventory, warehouse management, and so on. We have one specifically to the service family. If you are running field service modules, this is obviously the right thing for you, service module, but also like depot repair functionality if you have that product. We have a couple of new ones like the number 8 and number 9. The number 8 is actually a new product that we have delivered recently, which is the in-memory cost management. It's GA, and we have already started seeing a good customer momentum and customer interest in the in-memory cost management cloud service. Number 9, it's something we are working on. I'm not saying that those products like the machine learning and adaptive intelligence applications are out, but we are about to release some of those. So come and hear what we are working on. If you are keen to send us your feedback while we are developing these things, those applications, we will be delighted to hear what's your comment and input. We have the number 10, which is a traditional MTE, which is really everything to do with EBS manufacturing, addressing both discrete and process manufacturing. Again, all the MTEs are in fact in room breakers L that are EBS driven, and you can find them in the OUG Collaborate website as well. So that's the MTE. Now the demo pods, I mentioned that we have 8 demo pods that are driven and by eBusiness Suite development, but also we have 2 pods, or they call them the stars bars, and those are really driven by our colleagues from Oracle support. So you could see the demo pods we have this year: financial, project, procurement, the technology, the manufacturing, and so on. But at the very bottom there, you see that there are 3 stars bars that are managed and manned and staffed by the Oracle support. One that actually shows a demonstration of the analyzers, the eBusiness Suite analyzers. They are very, very hot topic and very, very appreciated by customers. So come and have a look at the demonstration of the eBusiness Suite analyzers. We also have generic stars bars, where you can ask all sorts of questions about support. Some of those tough questions you have about support, you can actually ask them there, and general other topics as well. So come along, just meet the Oracle team at demo pods in a more informal conversation as well as if you want to see some of the demos. Okay, the Turbo Talk, and I mentioned this is something new that we worked with the OUG. The OUG, it is OUG idea, and they allocated us 4 topics, 4 session slots. So what we decided to go ahead with those 4 topics that are on the screen. One which has always been topical over the last so many years is, I'm running eBusiness Suite today. I see that Oracle is heavily investing in SaaS. How can I use some of that new stuff in SaaS while I'm still staying with EBS for the core functionality? So that is really what I will be personally covering in that talk myself. We also have a Turbo Talk run by Lisa Perek, our Vice President in the technology, application technology, and she will be covering about the possibility and opportunity of customers running their EBS onto the Oracle Cloud infrastructure. Most of our customers today are running EBS on premises, in their data center, on their hardware, and there is a new way of running that environment which is on the Oracle Cloud infrastructure. So we're going to cover that in more detail. 2 topics, one regarding compliances. Number 3, it's more about if you are in the business of leasing properties, leasing assets, and so on, there are new rules that you need to comply with called IFRS 16. And we are getting a lot of questions on a regular basis from customers as well as from our internal teams, of course, about how Oracle and eBusiness Suite can be used to be compliant with the leases with the IFRS 16. So we have 2 products that handles that. One is called the Oracle Property Manager if you are dealing with leasing properties, and the other one is the Oracle Financial Lease Management, which is more driven by financials. So those 2 modules can be used in EBS environment to comply with those regulations. So from our team will have a full session on that, but also if you wanted just a quick talk about 30 minutes, that's all what you can afford, you can come to the Turbo Talk. Ideal for that. One that is very, very topical and has been in the last few months, and I can tell you I'm getting email every single day, which is the European GDPR compliance. So Cliff kindly accepted to do a Turbo Talk on that, to talk about the Oracle statement of direction from an EBS perspective, how we're going to be helping our customers to make their environment, their EBS environment, GDPR compliant. So Cliff will talk about that. If you have only 30 minutes to hear it, this is the best way of hearing it, very quick and sharp and short. So this is all the eBusiness Suite Turbo Talks are in the Oracle Theater 1, booth 1259, as highlighted on my slide here. Now, finally, the new thing that we are doing today, and that's a very, very heavy investment, both from an Oracle side, we have been working on preparing the material, the documentation to really build your own, to do your own lift and shift of an EBS environment from on-premise to the Oracle Cloud infrastructure. We have done it in the UK at the user group back in December, was very, very successful. We have done it in France also in December. So this is the first time we are doing in North America. I'm proud to say that. This Collaborate is the first event where we are doing this very, very heavy investment opportunity. And from a customer perspective and partner who are attending this, they are obviously putting a lot of investment because it's a minimum 3 hours. So we are repeating it 3 times. So the first one is on a Sunday at 12:30. Second one opportunity is a Tuesday at 9:45, and the last one is on Wednesday at 8:30. Please bear in mind you do need to register, but even registering to the hands-on lab using your app doesn't mean guarantee you get a seat. So I recommend, in addition to registering you're using the app, you also need to come early, because we're going to do like the airline booking reservation. We're going to overbook to make sure we don't get empty slots. So we want to overbook, you book, and then you also come as early as possible to guarantee your seat. So please make sure you do that. You can go to the website and check them out. And if you click on any of that link, or you just go to the OUG Collaborate website and just type lift and shift to Oracle Cloud for EBS, you will see them, and you will see the detail and the prerequisite that you need to prepare. You need to bring your laptop, you need to have PuTTY or something equivalent to PuTTY in your laptop because we will be using that during the hands-on lab. Of course, you need to be fairly technical. At least you need to know the Unix command line and you know, the very basic technical expertise. I think most of the BA would know that anyway. So this is really new, and I tell you, this is going to be very popular, and I would register immediately and make sure I will be there as soon as I can. Now, in addition to the EBS driven and EBS development content, I also put here the content from our colleagues from the Oracle support, and they have a number of sessions, and I just highlighted the ones that are applicable and related to eBusiness Suite. I think they have maybe 12 or 13, but I picked 9 that are EBS related. So those are, if you look under the website, the Collaborate website, you search by Oracle Support Council, and you will see the whole list of the support session. I think they are fairly good. So the number 3 is the analyzers I was talking about. I think if you really have questions about how to work better with Oracle support, troubleshooting and understanding GST, you know, this is something has been very topical for if you are operating in India, or you have an operation in India, or you are dealing with any company in India, you need to be compliant with GST regulation. Some of the tools and tips and tricks about the ADOP, which is the patching mechanism in 12.2 onwards of the eBusiness Suite. So, you know, these guys are very, very knowledgeable about what's the best way, what's the best tool to use. So again, this is from our support colleagues, and they have a great content there. Now, if you only have 3 hours to attend eBusiness Suite and learn as much as you can, these are the 3 sessions not to be missed. All of them are driven and staffed by our Senior Vice President, Cliff Godwin. His keynote session, which is on Monday at 9:45 in Mandalay Bay, room C. The GDPR statement of direction that is very topical, and you know the rules and the compliances. The dates are coming soon on us, so lots of people want to know what we are offering there. And if you have any question to Cliff and his direct, meet the expert on Wednesday at 9:45 would be ideal. So those are the 3 sessions definitely not to miss. And hopefully I'd like to see as many of you in this session, as well as all the other sessions I talked about in the last few minutes. With that, I came really to the end of what I wanted to share with you, really making sure that you know we are there at the conference. Lots of EBS development and strategy members are there. Many of you already know us and familiar with the content we deliver. So this is, again, I'm looking forward to be there, to meet you. In fact, I'm dying to be there, to tell you the truth. So meeting the customers and the partners, as well as my friends and colleagues, of course. Until then, I don't know whether we have any question, Tiffany or Mike, on, please let me know.
Yes, if you have any questions, please type it into the question box of your control panel, and we can answer them. We do have a couple of them coming in here, Nadia. Hold on one second.
Okay.
All right. How do you find these Oracle sessions that collaborate?
That's a good question. Usually, it is true, maybe I could still do it. Usually, we have something called focus on document, which we do. I did in Open World, and I think I did in Collaborate last year. Whoever asked the question, thank you so much for reminding me. I need to do it. So I promise I will do what we call a focus on EBS document, which I will send to my colleagues at the OUG to publish it on the website. So you will find all the EBS driven development driven session. So that's a good one. Other than that, I think I'm not sure whether there is a keyword you can search in the catalog to find all EBS sessions driven by the EBS development. I don't think so, Mike, but I think the focus on document would be probably the easiest. So I promise I will do that, and I send it to Mike and to the OUG to put on their website.
Yes, we would absolutely do that, Nadia. And also they can type in any keywords, tracks, speakers, if you know their names, just go ahead and type those into the app and those will easily pop up. Then we also have another question. Will you be talking about an on-premise EBS roadmap?
Absolutely. I mean, EBS, regardless whether you are running it in your data center, in your own hardware, or EBS running it on the Oracle Cloud infrastructure, it is the same EBS. It is still, you can still think of it as EBS on-prem, regardless where you run it. So all our content here is about EBS. It's about EBS functionality that we delivered recently, especially recently in October, I believe, or just before Open World, we delivered the latest release, which is 12.2.7. So we will be focusing a lot about 12.2.7. We will also share some of the roadmap items, the roadmap functionality that we have in our mind as planned for 12.2.8, for example. You know, for the moment, we have been delivering EBS new releases on a yearly basis. We just delivered 12.2.7. We are working on 12.2.8. So we will be able to give you some hints about 12.2.8, but fundamentally, we will be talking about 12.2.7, regardless whether you are running it on-prem or you run it on the Oracle Cloud infrastructure. It's still the same e-business suite products.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Nadia. Then we've got, I think, a follow-up to that. If you're not really thinking about going to the cloud, are there any sessions that are just like a pre-cloud session where you start thinking about the very first steps?
Yes. Well, first of all, let me just qualify what the cloud is. Cloud could be a SaaS application, could be infrastructure as a service, could be platform as a service. So all of those three things, people use the term cloud for. So we have Oracle Cloud Applications, we also have Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, and we have the platform as a service. So if your question is about, I'm not interested in SaaS, I am only interested in EBS functionality, then I would say 80 to 90% of our content that I have just presented are about EBS core functionality. So that would be applicable to you, whoever asked the question, yes. If the question is about a cloud application, it is really a different product line. We also refer to it as a SaaS. In one of my sessions, I can talk about how EBS customers, while they are still staying EBS, how they can leverage some of those SaaS cloud applications. This is the session I was referring to, the coexistence, EBS coexistence with SaaS. So if you want to hear about that, then you come to one of those sessions. But if you are talking about cloud as an infrastructure, we do have maybe 5 sessions in total that talks about that aspect, but everything else is really about e-business suite functionality. We do have, actually, remember in one of the slides I talked about adaptive intelligence. Adaptive intelligence applications are actually SaaS applications, but they can be leveraged by eBusiness Suite customers while they are still eBusiness Suite. So you run your core financial, you run your core procurement and project and manufacturing in EBS, and you can leverage those new adaptive intelligence SaaS application on the top of that. So that is also SaaS application. But in general, I would say 90% of our content I mentioned today are really about EBS, core EBS functionality.
Okay, that was a great answer, Nadia. Thank you. I'm not showing any other questions. So I think we all can see why OAUG loves working with Nadia and Oracle. OAUG has a strong partnership with Oracle, and Oracle supports us by sending their senior product teams. Collaborate is an extremely friendly environment for networking with Oracle. So if you wanted to ask Cliff or Nadia a direct question, it's super easy to do at Collaborate. So we hope everyone attends. Again, thank you for attending this webinar. Tomorrow we'll have a Collaborate preview with EPM Hyperion product team lead, Al Marchianti. We hope to see everyone there for that. This concludes the webinar, so have a great day.
Thank you, everyone, and hope to see you in a few weeks' time.